Hi. Haven't talked about this person for a while, though he is somebody I do talk about often. Mr. Kuckian. I will actually link the Josh Shaw's video up in the iCard, because he re-uploaded the video about some of the lies John's told. Josh, if you're watching this, love you, man. Still quite good friends with him, so that's fine. But it's been a surprisingly strange Christmas, really. I'll explain what I mean. For Christmas of 2016-2017, John Kuckian, YouTuber, philanthropist, and makeup artist himself, sarcasm, accused a fellow YouTuber and a former friend, Peter Mon, of being a paedophile. Yeah. He had very little evidence, and the evidence that he did have was doctored, and he was also using Peter's Tumblr as evidence, saying that it was all signs of questionable behaviour. It was all signs of this person's not a nice person, and you know he's in the background. Ignore it. It's just the husband. Anything like that, it's to do with that. You know, that all this shows signs. It's got a child next to a picture of a penis, so it's pedophile. It's like, no, that's just the way the thumbnails worked out on Tumblr. But the problem was, his Tumblr was pretty much fucking identical. He had a picture of a child here, and then he had a picture of a guy's bare backside, like, because Tumblr, it's like 3 pictures, 3 pictures, 3 pictures. And he had a picture of a child, a scenic picture, and then a picture of a bare backside. That was on John's Tumblr, so if we were to use John's logic, then John was worse. And John was the one that was sending videos to people of him dancing and shaking his ass and questionable stuff like that. But I think what I think happened is, because Peter didn't take him up on anything and didn't follow through, he got a bit pissed and was like, fuck you, I'm going to say you're a pedophile. That's just maybe, but that's not the point. That's what happened 2017 and 2016. But Christmas of 2018 was a little bit different. Yes, there was another release of his shitty makeup line. I'm sorry, but there's a still of the video where he was using some of the stuff on models. And the look of one of the models, she saw. She looked petrified. So, sorry, that just made me giggle. But last Christmas was different. Though not good. There was a different type of film, a different type of video he did. Now this is something that's been going for a while. It's something I've talked about several times. And it's something a couple of other bigger YouTubers have talked about several times. He did release a storytime. He also changed his channel name, which a bit weird, but never mind. He did a story time talking about the fans' houses he stayed, a fan's house that he stayed at in the US. Saying that she was psycho, and even showed evidence, the audio recordings and things like that. Stated in the video that there was no criminal proceedings pending. Now, first of all, I beg to differ. Second of all, stop talking shit. Third of all, you just need to go online and you can find it. And fourth of all, I dare you, John Kuckian, to take your ass back to the US. Or even better, go to the US consulate in London and ask them. Even better, go to the US. Go to the area where that woman lived. Go to the police station and ask them if they have a warrant or they have a file open on you. Because I think you'll find that there is. So, he said that the recordings he had were made with consent. Now, she never consented, and he couldn't, because he works for Homeland Security, and it's actually illegal for him to even be recorded, because it's an issue of national security. So he can't give consent, and you recorded him in the car. She didn't give consent, and even if she had, you should have played the section where she actually gave consent, but you didn't, because it doesn't exist. Or at least have a piece of paper where she signed that she gave you consent, but you can't, because it doesn't exist. The story has been disproved. His side of the story has been disproved several times by myself, by Beauty by Ashley, by Margot Indigo, by Dustin Daly, and numerous others. He ignores the fact that there's proof out there that others have shown of both the criminal proceedings and the fact that he was the one at fault, not them. He refuses to accept that the reason why all the titty farm that he stayed with in the US went, that all the people that he stayed with in the US lost it, was him. It was them. It wasn't him, even though he's the common denominator. So if you have 10 situations that exist that happen, and the same thing happens in all 10 situations, and there's only one common denominator, it's pretty much self-explanatory that the common denominator is the cause for the issues. And in this case, the common denominator was John Kuckian. I'm sorry, but it was. He's currently hemorrhaging subscribers. I'll pop a screen grab of his social blade. It's ridiculous. People have stopped believing his shit. He, like I say, he has changed his channel into Kuckian or Kuckian Time or something like that. I don't know, but so much shitty. People are starting to see him for the liar that he is and the manipulator that he is. Him, Joy, and Onision have a habit of doing this shit, where everybody who attacks them is in the wrong, when a lot of people aren't attacking you, they're just saying you're talking bullshit and providing proof, but no, that's slander, that's defamation. Because you took Margot's video down for defamation and slander, when in actual fact there was nothing but proof in there, but you know, tomato, tomato. People want him off the platform, me included. I think he should have been taken off the platform. Right, where was I before my battery died? Oh, right here. So people want him off the platform, me included. I willingly admit I want him off the platform. I want him gone. He's pulling down the platform. He, and especially one other person, are the first thing they throw at people is you're an abuser. Or they say, oh, you've done this, and you've abused people, and you've cheated. And they're always quick to blame the other person without actually looking at themselves. Something Joy's very guilty of. Watch my video, Is Joy Sparkle Gone for Good? I think that's the title. I'll pop it in the iCard anyway, where I address a very similar factor in that video. John, Joy and Greg are probably the worst for this, is they act like they're perfect, they act like they're righteous, like they're the be all and end all. But then when it comes to it, what they accuse other people of doing, they do themselves. And they expect people to live to their level of scrutiny when they don't even go anywhere near it. And John does this all the time. But there you go. His lies are starting to catch up with him. His lies are kicking him in the ass, basically. He's constantly being cut up by his lies for the past umpteen years. We all know he fakes tweets. We all know he fakes conversations. We all know he fakes DMs. We know he fakes so much. And he twists things to make him seem like the victim when none of it was his fault. I actually remember I didn't watch the video, I just went onto the video and then looked at the comments of what people were saying, and they're like, "Oh, John, you're so brave." I noticed there were not one negative comment, or there was, but I don't think he got around to deleting them yet. "Oh, John, you're so brave. Oh, John, you're such a good person for trying to stand up for this guy. You know, you were trying to help this guy. He was recording somebody that legally cannot be recorded because it's a threat to national security if he's recorded." And wrecking another woman's palette that wasn't even his. Right. Time will tell. If he's ever taken off the platform, we shall see. Like I say, he's hemorrhaging subscribers. His fans are losing him left, right, and leaving him left, right, and centre. His Twitter is restricted, but I have an in on that. There's also a lot of other things that are more than interesting, shall we say. There's a lot when it comes to this guy that's not right. I don't think he should be on social media. It's just, there's a lot about him that unsettles me. And I don't get this sensation with a lot of people on YouTube. I do very strongly with John, very mildly with Greg, and I barely get it with Joy. I get it a little bit on her being obsessive and hypocrisy, but I don't think she would go as low as John does sometimes, or as low as Greg does sometimes. I do think she goes low, and I do think she's done some dodgy shit, but I don't think she goes low as John. And I think the fact that John's done so much shit within the YouTube community, that it's starting to give him a swift kick in the ass. And I'm not surprised people are starting to see through it. I think from me starting to make proper videos, I think it were about 4 or 5 months after that I stopped being a John fan, because I know some of the first videos I ever did were defending John from Sanders, and worst thing I ever did. Well, one of the worst. So, but yeah, I just hope John either sees sense or gets kicked off the platform, because I think getting kicked off the platform is the only thing that's going to stop him, to be honest. His behaviour, his attitude, his views, his actions are petty, they are childish, they are criminal, and they are not the signs of a businessman. They are not the signs of a philanthropist that's got other people's best interests at heart at all. YouTube does need to stop him if he does pull this shit again. He's defamed people multiple times on his channel, yet he is yet to receive one. I think he received a strike for this, for the video he did, but he didn't for the previous 2 videos, and he should have done. He's had no kickback from it. he's had no flashback from it. So we'll just have to wait and see. Time will tell, time will tell. So that's that video. So yeah, I was about 3/4 of the way through, my battery died, and then I recorded the video, the rest of this video, the bit I've just done, and the other video on my tablet, but the quality isn't very good. So I won't be using that because it's very grainy, because it's not a good camera. It's not as good as this one anyway. So, so yeah. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with John. We'll just have to wait and see. It's all we can do. It's the same with anybody on YouTube or anybody on social media. Usually shit has to hit the fan. But the bit that confuses me is one channel with a lot more subscribers than John accused Shane Dawson of being a paedophile, and within hours the channel was deleted. But yet John's done that twice. Not 3 times. No, I did it 3 times because I did it with Thomas Albert. But he still has both his channels. Time will tell. So, stay safe, be good, have fun, and I'll see you very soon.